Hi, I'm Todd with ESOTERIC Car Care. Today we're going to be talking about one-step polishing process. One-step machine polishing, just how it sounds, it is done with one pad, one polish. A multi-stage correction, you're going to go with a compounding pad and compound. You're going to follow it up with a finishing pad and finishing polish. Where the one step falls into play. A lot of people make the mistake thinking of detailing there's just two ends of the spectrum. There's washing and then there's full correction. Well, for most people at home and for most detailing companies, one-step polish is going to be your most popular service that you have. You got a customer that's looking to have their car look a lot better, but they don't need it to be perfect, and they're not wanting to invest in the level that it requires to be a perfection level, a multi-stage polish. You can get a lot accomplished in just one step if you're doing it right. So let's talk a little bit about the one-step industry standards, what kind of correction that you can get. One-step polish to some people might be going over a car in 30 minutes with something. Now, we kind of have a similar process. We just call it a light machine polish because you're not really doing anything at that level. You're adding a little bit of gloss, a little bit of slickness, maybe a tiny bit of correction to it. But to us, that doesn't fall under the category of one-step polish. Our range may be from 60% to 90%, depending on the paint, depending on the condition of the car that you start off with. You need to treat it similar to a multi-stage in that you're going to go in and you're going to do test sections and you're going to see what level of correction that you can get. And we're always looking to maximize the amount of correction that we get out of a one stage. And for us, most of the time, it's going to be the same combination. It's going to be a yellow pad from Rupus and it's going to be Sonax Perfect Finish. But what can vary a little bit is the techniques that we use to achieve that. So we're going to do test sections. We're going to visually inspect it to see how much correction that we're getting. Then we're going to use our DOI meter so that we can look at it in an objective manner, takes out the subjectivity, and it's going to tell us what kind of improvements we're getting and how much clarity, quality of reflections are you getting out of the surface. So we can go in and we may decide based off of our findings here and what we visually inspect, we may find that increasing our pressure by a pound or two gives us much better results. Then once we get that dialed in, we continue on with the rest of the car. And if you've got a vehicle with softer paint, you'd be surprised just how much you can get. In a lot of cases, you can make it look like a multi-stage paint correction if you do the right combination of technique and pad and polish. On the other end, you can have a silver Audi or something that's hard as this table right here. You're going to add some clarity and you're going to add some gloss to it, but you might only get 30, 40, 50% correction rate out of it. So you kind of have to know that going into it, what kind of paint that you're dealing with. If you're trying to do a one-step polish with just a dedicated finish polish that has very little cut, you're not going to get a big correction rate out of it. So you want to make sure that you have got a product that's got the ability to get good cut, good correction at the same time. For us, for years, we continue to use this because it works so well. We've tested so many different products out there, not only subjective kind of looks with our eyes and a pen light, but completely objective results with our DOI meter at the same time. We just haven't found anything that works quite as well. So most of the time, once again, it's that yellow pad and that's that perfect finish for our customers that gets the best results that we're looking for. So once again, recap the whole thing: one-step polish, one pad, one polish. You're still trying to get as much correction as you possibly can, and you're probably going to be spending 6 to 8 hours during that process to do it right. If you try to rush the process, your cut and your finish is going to go down on it. If you underwork it, your cut and finish isn't going to be that great. If you overwork it, same thing is going to happen. Your cut and your finish, particularly on the finish side, is going to happen because then you're not working the surface anymore. You're just rubbing the pad against it, and chances are you're going to get some haze that's going to come back with that. So finding that right amount of time is very, very important. But If you're spending just 2 hours to do a one-step, you're not doing much. You're spreading product around at that point. If you're taking more than about 8 hours, then maybe you need to look at doing a multi-step. You're trying to accomplish a bit too much with that one-step procedure. Perhaps you want to change up your products. If you're not getting as much cut, try something similar to a Sonax Perfect Finish. It should increase the amount of cut and finish that you get and keep you within that time frame. So hopefully that clarifies a little bit what a one-step procedure is and what you can expect to get out of it, and where industry standards really should be relative to what a one-step polish actually means. If you have any additional comments or questions, definitely leave them down below. We're always monitoring our YouTube page and trying to answer as many questions people have. Hit that like button, subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we're constantly updating new videos on detailing tips, tools, and techniques. That's about all for today. For Esoteric Car Care, I'm Todd Cooperrider. Thanks, and we'll see you again next time.